What is up, Ravens Nation? We are about back to game day. Thank goodness. It's been a long week. We are entering week 3. The Ravens 0-2 desperately need a win at Dallas in Jerry's World. I'm super excited for this one, but I quickly wanted to give just a few keys to the Ravens winning this game. But before I do that, welcome to Vlog Talk, your home for all things Baltimore Ravens football. If you are a Ravens fan and you're new to this channel, we're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers before the end of the season, so I need all Ravens fans watching this to hit subscribe, like the videos, and helps get it for more and more Ravens fans just like yourself. But enough of that. Today's video, we are discussing keys to victory for the Baltimore Ravens against the Dallas Cowboys, who just got shellacked at home by the New Orleans Saints. That in particular worries me. A team that's coming off such a terrible loss at home, they're going to be so motivated to get this loss out of their bad taste out of their mouth. So a little extra motivation for Dallas coming into this. The Ravens obviously as desperate as anyone in the league to win as they sit 0-2. So there's going to be some keys of the game that the Ravens absolutely have to do that are non-negotiable, in my opinion. And some of these are going to sound like absolute common sense. But with the Ravens, common sense seems to elude them oftentimes. Number one is run the ball early and often. Derrick Henry should get no less than 20 carries in this game. No less. I would prefer closer to 25, but no less than 20 carries in this game. If he gets freaking 15, there's going to be a problem. Especially if they copy last week's recipe where they run him once in the last 10 minutes if the game's within a score or they're winning. The only excuse to taking him out of the game is if you're down multiple scores in the fourth quarter. So establish the run game early and pound the rock. That will open up the rest of the offense. The play action will open up. But at the same time, they cannot get predictable. They have to put Derrick Henry out there, even on passing downs. They cannot trot him out there just when they run the ball and put Justice Hill in when they go to pass, which is what they've been doing. So we'll see. Again, this sounds like common sense, but they have failed to do this in the first 2 weeks of the season. The second thing is going to be mitigate the success and impact that Micah Parsons has on this game. Max Crosby absolutely took over the game at different times, and Chris Jones absolutely had his way as well. Micah Parsons is next up on the list. He's going to be licking his chops on this line. I think Roger Rosengarten should start at right tackle. His first game was a disaster. His second game, I thought he did really, really well going one-on-one with Max Crosby, as well as you can, considering Max Crosby is such an elite player. But Roger Rosengarten, I think, is the future of that position, and I would love to see him get at least half of the snaps at that position. I wouldn't mind seeing Ben Cleveland trot out there at right guard. That right side of the line has been absolute disaster. You know it, I know it, but we'll see. It sounds like there could be still some open competition there, so I would love to see what he's got and if it's an improvement at all from Daniel Falele. Third on the list is stopping CeeDee Lamb. The dude is a beast, coming off a 1,700-yard season. Him and Dak Prescott are like freaking peanut butter and jelly. They're great. They have great chemistry, and he's a dynamite player. They have to limit him. They cannot let him pull a Devontae Adams on you and just absolutely have his way, especially late in the game. That was the turning point, is when Devontae Adams started, getting open and getting big plays. They have to limit the goofy penalties. They can't be interfering every time the ball's thrown his way. They got to do whatever it takes to limit his impact on the game. Let anybody else beat you. Preferably make him run the ball. That's what you want if you're the Ravens. But being that they have the last-ranked secondary, and like we addressed in one of the last videos, their top 3 players in the secondary have not played well this season. That has to change if the Ravens are going to win this game. And an extra point to make, I would love to see the Ravens scheme up some quick passes to get the ball out of Lamar Jackson's hands early and often. We've seen the Chiefs do this, where they were dominant taking big-time plays down the field when they had Tyreek Hill, and defenses stopped allowing them to do that. So now they have to just dink and dunk their way down the field, but guess what? They adjusted, and they do a tremendous job at it with Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce. I would like to see a similar adjustment made by the Ravens. Sitting Lamar Jackson back in the pocket while these long routes have to develop with this offensive line right now is a terrible idea, and we've seen that through the first couple of weeks. They've struggled to get a consistent passing game going. The only time we saw them really do that was when they got Derrick Henry going in that second half of last week's game, and then they opened up a little bit of the play action. They need to do that. I would like to see them, like I said, give him some quicker outs, whether some hitches, some slants, stuff of that nature, RPOs, to get the ball out of his hands quick. I feel like they abuse the screens to Zay Flowers. Zay is great, and I understand why they do it, but I would like to see them get a little more creative. I would like to see Derrick Henry get some screens. I wouldn't even mind seeing Rashad Bateman get some screen action there. We know he's a capable guy who can run after the catch, but I feel like they just overdo it with the screens to Zay. Love Zay, and he's a tremendous talent, but it just, again, it goes back to being that predictable offense that we keep talking about. But that's just my opinion on it. I would like to see them do a little bit, get a little more creative getting the ball out of Lamar's hands early. That is not a screen to Zay Flowers. But I want to know what you guys think. What are your keys to victory for the Baltimore Ravens in Week 3 versus the Dallas Cowboys? Let me know in the comments. As always, thank you for giving me a few minutes of your day. If you are a Ravens fan, take a second, like the video, subscribe, comment. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers, and it would mean the world to me if you would all take a second and subscribe as we're trying to grow this channel this season. I appreciate you tuning in and watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Go Ravens!